just across the Lebanese border, where a senior Israeli security official tells us they have raised the alert level, expecting a possible new escalation with Hezbollah. That Iran-backed terror group fired anti-tank missiles into Israel yesterday, sparking return fire. And now it's become a sort of public war of words and images. Hezbollah-linked media releasing this video just a little while ago, unverified, claiming to show their attack. The Israeli Prime Minister earlier coming out with this.
Yesterday, we acted with determination and responsibility. We kept our citizens and soldiers safe. The man in the bunker in Beirut knows exactly why he is in the bunker. We will continue to do everything necessary to keep Israel safe, on land, in the air, and at sea. And we will continue to work against the threat of the precision missiles.
Joining me right here in the studio is retired Major General Yossi Peled. He's the former head of IDF's Northern Command and a former minister in the Likud party. But let's just start the conversation with our Alec Pollard on the Israel-Lebanon border. Alec, as we mentioned, higher alert there after a very short period of calm. What are you hearing?
Well, the community leaders here along the border were meeting earlier in the day, and we're talking about already what's going to happen after this incident, as it seems like the current round of violence has concluded, but people are already preparing for what's going to happen next. They were demanding, there was a previous government program earlier in the year that was supposed to divert $1.5 billion for the construction of more shelters here around the communities at the northern border. The population here, probably around 50%, don't have adequate shelters in case that more rockets or something, possibly a conflict with Hezbollah, erupts over here. So that was the demand that they were making for the government, already thinking about the next round that could happen, even as this one seems to have come to a close.
Alec, Hassan Nasrallah, the leader of Hezbollah, has been speaking for the last 15 minutes or so. He's saying that this video they put out shows the truth. I mean, all of it is really this messaging, the importance of imagery, of sort of proclaiming victory to the Lebanese people. This really is a sort of battle of narratives.
Absolutely. This video that was released by Hezbollah really contradicts the story that was put out by the IDF throughout the day, that this was a well-planned ploy by the IDF, that the soldiers were never in danger, not a scratch, as Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said. But in the video, you see a driving vehicle that would likely have soldiers inside and two rockets exploding next to it. It's still unclear exactly what happened, but listening to the residents over here, they witnessed two anti-tank missiles being fired and passing nearby the community of Avivim, where I am right now, and exploding further back, probably near the community of Yiron. I showed the video of Hezbollah to a woman over here and said, that road, that is the community of Yiron that is next to Avivim. And I even drove there earlier in the day and saw the two potholes where those explosions took place. So that is what I'm hearing over here from the residents of Avivim. Hezbollah have also received some criticism from Arab media over the fact that the video ends after the explosions. You don't see the result. You don't see any carnage, destroyed vehicle, any people that are injured. So it's really still somewhat unclear what exactly happened. But certainly, as the round of violence has ended, the battle over the version, the images, who has the upper hand, who is in control of this situation, is still ongoing between Israel and Hezbollah.
All right, Alec Pollard on the Israel-Lebanon border. Thanks very much for that. Really, as he points out, important to take all of that, especially that video from the Hezbollah-linked channel, with a big grain of salt. Let's put that question to retired Major General Yossi Peled here. Let's just start with what we just heard about, this sort of messaging. Are you surprised, particularly as the former head of the IDF's Northern Command, at how public this whole thing has been with statements, videos? I mean,
I'm surprised about the reaction. I'm surprised about the high intention that this video got, and I cannot understand it because nothing is new. It's a long confrontation between Hezbollah and us. Since the beginning of the 80s, when Hezbollah was established and replaced another Shia organization, Amal, and it's a long confrontation backed up by Iran. To explain myself, let me tell you from my experience. In 1988, I got the information that Hezbollah got $100 million from Iran. And I was sitting and saying, wow, what are they able to buy, which kind of weapon, and etc., etc. And it took me very, very short time to understand 80% of the money went not to military purpose, for kindergarten, schools, helping families that need help, etc., etc. And I got suddenly the system. The Iranians are looking in the long run strategy to build here a new power against Israel. And those children from the 80s that were in the kindergarten, today is the fighters that are fighting against us.
Education
Iran
is power.
has a long run plan. Israel doesn't have the alternative to think only in the long run.